So let's talk about product launches in particular. And so in this workshop, what we want to do is we want to work through the technical aspects of your product launch, and we want to also assume that you've already figured out your product's components. So in other words, this workshop is not going to be about figuring out what you want to put in your product. Just about everybody here, you're probably going to either put together something that's a video course. Maybe you might have an audio course, maybe you're going to have some PDFs, maybe you're going to have some images, but basically I'm going to assume that you want to deliver some kind of information product, right, that you've already figured out what that is, you've already figured out what your niche is, you already figured out what you want to sell, who you want to sell it to. What we want to do is help you to get it ready to sell. We're also going to assume that you already know what you'll be writing as your copy. Right, so we've taught that in some other workshops. If you want to, if you want to get insight on how to write your copy, the easy way, reach out to us. We'll give you access to one of our past trainings on writing copy. And again, writing copy does not have to be, I would say, complicated. There are some elements that you need to have. There's a formula that we personally follow that we have been following for, I think, about 6 years, and we're not necessarily, I wouldn't call us experts at writing copy, but if you follow the formula, right, when you can find that same formula, and those of you who have been on my calls before, you know that I suggest that you look at David Fry's 12-point bulletproof sales letter, right? So if you follow that formula, right, David Fry's 12-point bulletproof formula, and as a matter of fact, I am just going to do a search for it right here on screen. And just so that you can see it, I'm just going to write in David Fry's 12-point, there it is, foolproof sales letter. And there are a number of links to it. You can actually get a PDF that's right here. And you're going to see, if you start with step 1 and you go through step 2, all the way through step 12, you will have a complete sales letter. And even if you are not necessarily all that good at writing copy, if you follow these things and you inject your product and what makes your product unique into this format, you will be able to get people to pay attention. Right? Does that make sense? Is everybody with me on that? So again, I'm not going to talk a lot about writing copy. I am going to suggest that if you want to get a start on writing copy, you can write a decent sales letter, or you can do a decent sales video if you just follow David Fry's 12-point bulletproof sales letter. All right, so okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to set up your product launch, your upsells, and your email marketing. So let's talk about the order of operations and the order that you need to do things. The first thing you're going to want to do is to map out and set up your sales and marketing funnel. And so let's talk about what that means. I'm going to open up Warrior Plus here. Okay, so how many of you have set up a sales funnel on Warrior Plus before? Right? If you haven't, this is actually going to be good, and it's going to be instructive for you. Now you've probably seen a number of people set up a funnel on JVZoo. So what we're going to do is we're going to set one up on Warrior Plus. All right, so here's Warrior Plus. And the very first thing we're going to do is we are going to set up an offer, right? And so the offer is not going to be any specific product. Your offer is just going to kind of give you your statistics all in one place. So when you set up your marketing funnel, what's going to happen is you're going to be able to see all the products in the funnel underneath one title. And your title is going to be your offer. So if you get that, please put the number 1 in the question box. So in other words, all your products in one funnel are going to be under this offer. So we're going to set up an offer first. So let's say that the offer that we're going to set up is going to be teaching, we're going to call this the product launch workshop. Okay, then Warrior Plus asks you for a description. Now this description is going to show up to the other marketers who are considering promoting your product, right? And it's also going to show up when you actually are trying to recruit affiliates. So you want to have something brief, and you want to have something that it doesn't have to be hypey, but it should get people excited, right? So you want to say something like, you know, let's say it's going to be a big video course, you want to emphasize that. You're going to say 45 module, 3.5 hour course. And then you want to talk about the benefit, getting you into profit mode through your own product launch. Right, so then what we're going to do is we're going to need to select a category. And in Warrior Plus, they give you a limited number of categories. And here's why the categories are important, because when people get marketplace alerts, they get them based on these categories and the keywords. So you want to make sure you get these things so that they attract the people that you actually want to see it. Right, so if you want people who are going to be interested in, let's say, searching for maybe not video, right? So we don't want necessarily video. We want people, let's say, who are going to be interested in, we'll say we want people who are going to be interested in coaching. We want people who are going to be interested in, let's say we want them to be interested in traffic. And let's say we also want to be interested in, and you get 3 to pick, we want people who are interested in, let's say, launches, launch management, JVs and launch management. Okay, so then what we need to do is we need to pick keywords, right? So we're going to do the same thing. So we're going to get more specific here. And I'm going to write in product launch. Okay, so when we see that, what we need to do is we need to kind of click on the link there. This is going to be a workshop, so we want people who might be interested in product creation. Okay, and then we want people who are going to be interested in, let's say we're going to do this about Warrior Plus. Launching on Warrior Plus.